my friends, how are you doing today? I am doing well. I hope you are also. And today I want to talk about a couple of out of print, 100% out of print Blu-rays that I was able to get my grubby hands on. Because I do love me some out of print Blu-rays. It's like the Holy Grail, man. It's like the Ark of the Covenant. It's like you're on a search for these things. Other people have them. Do you want to pay the money for these out-of-print titles? Because you know that when they first came out, they were probably like $10. They were probably like $20. And now they're hundreds of dollars. You know what I mean? $50, $70, $100. They're crazy prices. Do you want to pay that? Do you want to pay those crazy prices? That's the question. How much do you want them? That's the question. Now, these are just two titles. I have many out-of-print titles that I have hunted, but these are the two that have been in my... Oh, you have no idea. Years, literally years, about 2 years, I have had these in my eBay drop mail thing, you know, where they notify you about new drops of things that people are selling. And I had this in my Mercari, I had this in my eBay, I've had this in my OfferUp, waiting and waiting for a price that was in my range because, man, when you are a movie collector and a lover of movies, you want to have the best that you possibly can get. Now, I have both of these movies on DVD. So let's say that this is like I'm not going to say guilty pleasure. This is pure temptation.
You can do it, Brucey! You can do it, Bruce! Yeah, you can do it! Go, Bruce!
You know, this was I could have said no. I could have said no, but I couldn't. I could, but I couldn't. You know, it's like one of those things where you probably shouldn't have, but you did, and you were happy that you did, but then you look back and you go, why? And then probably when they go to 8K and 3D surround, where I'm sitting literally in the movie, which will happen probably within the next 10 years, I'll be like, why did I spend this kind of money on these out-of-print Blu-rays? But, man, what a rush. I mean, if you're looking for something for 2 years, then all of a sudden a price comes up and you're like, and they give it to you. It's just a good thing. All right. So the first movie that I got out of print, this is 100% out of print, and this is a what company is this? Oh, this is a Shout Factory release. Out of print Shout Factory release. It's a movie called The Sure Thing.
Walter Gibb Gibson lives life on the edge.
What do you think of that guy, Gibb? I don't.
Forget it, Gibson. I hear she likes the intellectual type.
So I'm intellectual and stuff.
You're flanking English. That's your mother tongue and stuff.
Allison Bradbury favors a more orderly existence.
7 o'clock news, 7:30 shower, 7:45 phone call. 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock, I don't know. That's when I rearrange my sock drawer.
They have very little in common.
How would you like to have a sexual encounter so intense it could conceivably change your political views?
Except that each has someone waiting in California.
Gib, I'm talking to you cordless. What are you doing for Christmas break, huh?
There's a certain someone here I want you to meet.
For Gibb, the girl of his dreams, a guaranteed sure thing. For Allison, her boyfriend, a respectable, safe thing.
How about a good hot mug of China Black?
And from a small New England college, both are willing to travel across the country by car.
No, I should have taken the bus.
What, and wind up sitting next to some sleazebag? Some sleazebag you don't know?
By foot. By truck.
So what's in California?
Girl, you're supposed to be a sure thing.
A sure thing, no questions asked, no strings attached.
No guilt involved.
A sure thing.
Together, they must overcome enthusiastic travel companions.
Hi, welcome aboard. I'm Marianne Webster.
And I'm Gary Cooper, but not the Gary Cooper that's dead. Hop in.
Personality conflicts.
Middle of nowhere, it's cold, there's no cars, you stay in hitch.
You're gonna walk? It's almost 20 miles.
And don't follow me.
and Mother Nature.
I have a credit card.
I have a credit card.
Oh. My dad told me specifically I can only use it in case of an emergency.
Well, maybe one will come up.
But adversity often has a way of making strange bedfellows.
Don't try it, I swear.
I trust you.
And somewhere on the road to a sure thing, Allison and Gib just might discover the real thing.
Me.
Thank you.
Embassy Pictures presents a new film by Rob Reiner, The Sure Thing.
This was one of my favorite movies back in the day. This was one of those HBO Cinemax movies that I would watch over and over again. It stars Nicolette Sheridan, which, if you know who Nicolette Sheridan is, if I want to make sure I'm correct by this, I think she came from Dynasty or the Colbys or one of those late night soap opera movies. And I was like, Nicolette Sheridan. I had that Nicolette Sheridan thing, you know what I mean? It's like, and this was her first introduction. This was her first movie, you know what I mean? And so, of course, when this came out, I had to see it, you know? Then it also stars one of my other big favorites, John Cusack. I mean, Better Off Dead. He's like, One Crazy Summer. He's like one of my favorites from the 80s. So this was easily going to slip into my 80s category. So I do have Better Off Dead on Blu-ray twice, but I do not have One Crazy Summer. For some reason, they did not release a Blu-ray copy of that yet. So whatever company is, get on the One Crazy Summer, man, because that's a great movie. But this one is about this guy. He's in college, and he falls for this other girl played by Daphne. I'm going to say her name, Daphne Zuniga. The girl from Spaceballs. Okay, that's who it is. It's the girl from Spaceballs, and he falls for her. And the thing is, he's like way out of her league. She's like this preppy, geeky type person or whatever, very, very smart and everything. And he's like this down to earth, almost like a say anything character, you know. And he's trying to get with her. What happens is they end up going on a road trip to try to get to like the same destination. And as the destination goes on, they start to fall in love with each other. And he's going to see A Sure Thing, played by Nicolette Sheridan. It's his friend calls him up. He's like, oh, she's a sure thing. You're guaranteed you're going to get this girl, but you got to come down and see me. And she wants to go see her fiance, which is in almost the same location. So they go on this travel together, and they learn a lot about each other, and they fall in love with each other. And that's what this movie is all about. And it has been out of print for a while now, and I wanted to get a copy of it. Now this thing fluctuated in prices, man. When it first went out of print, $30. And I was like, $30 is way too much for this movie. I ain't gonna pay $30 for this movie. That's crazy. Then I waited. And this is the problem with me. You know, sometimes your first reaction is you don't want to spend the money, but you should spend the money, because I probably should have snagged this thing when it was $20, because it was one of my favorites. So I was like, okay, well, $20, that was worth of $20, but I did not want to pull the trigger on $20. Then it hit 30, and I'm like, oh man, I really want that movie, but I don't want to pay $30 for it. Then it hit 40. I'm like, oh, $40, wow. Then it went up to $60, $65 or so. And I waited. And I watched it go up to 80, then drop down to 60, then go back up to 80, then drop down to 60. And never went lower than $60, you know. And then all of a sudden, they started going for around $35, $40 or so. And I was like, oh, man, I'm not there yet. You know, I got to kind of set a price, you know, maybe 35 in the middle of 30 and 40. I'll set the price there. And then it happened. I believe I paid exactly $30 for this. If I remember correctly, it was exactly $30. Guy did a best offer on eBay. He wanted, I think, 45. I hit him with a 30, and I was like, he's not going to take the 30 because he's going to clearly get 45 for it. For some reason he did. You know, obviously the Blu-ray god was shining down on me that day, and he was like, I'm going to give it to this man. Bing! Sold for $30 to that guy. Absolutely love that movie. Out of print. So if you've never seen The Sure Thing, you can get it on DVD, which is probably perfectly fine for what you want it for. But because of my collecting infatuation and sickness I have, I had to get the Blu-ray. The next one is 100% out of print, and this one is going for a ton. I mean, you go on eBay right now, easily $100. Easily. You go on Amazon. I want to say they got I think the store itself, Amazon store itself, is selling it for $100. And it's a movie called Bedazzled, starring Brendan Fraser and Elizabeth Hurley.
He wants Allison.
Hi.
Hi.
Do I know you?
Oh, I sure hope so. We've only been working together for the last 4 years.
I don't think I've ever seen you before.
You know, I'm here with some friends, and I was wondering if maybe you wanted to...
Elliot has never had any of his dreams come true.
I would give anything to have that girl in my life.
Until now.
Hello. You're very glib. I bet you're a whiz with the ladies.
Well...
Let's go someplace quiet so we can talk.
Okay.
What if I told you that I have the power to give you anything and everything you've always dreamed of?
Who are you?
Promise not to tell anyone?
I'm the devil.
Yeah, right.
I am the devil, Satan, Lucifer, the Prince of Darkness. Well, the Princess of Darkness, anyway.
Why don't we take a look at the contract?
I, the devil, with offices in Purgatory, Hell, and Los Angeles, will give you 7 wishes for one piddling little soul.
Is this real?
It could be. Sign it, Elliot.
Okay. I wish that I were married to Allison and that I were very, very rich and very powerful.
You got it.
Muy buenos días, señor. ¿Le apetece algo de comer?
Como dices, no habla español. Un momento. Realmente estoy hablando español. Hola. Mucho gusto. No, gracias. Soy alérgico a los crustáceos.
Elliot may have 7 wishes.
You turned me into a drug dealer.
Back so soon?
A chance in hell.
This is a movie. Elizabeth Hurley plays the devil, and she puts Brendan Fraser through these different kinds of obstacles, the tests. Yeah, different tests. He's allowed to make wishes every time. It's one of these things where you don't ask the devil for favors because you know that nothing's gonna come good from it. Nothing's gonna come good from it. Nothing good will come from asking the devil for favors. Yes, because there's always going to be a clause. There's going to be a niche. There's going to be a trick. Okay, the devil wants to trick you, and of course he's going to try to trick you. And he definitely tricks you by playing Elizabeth Hurley in this. Elizabeth Hurley playing the devil in this movie. So she comes up to him. She's like, "I want your soul. Sign your thing, and I will grant you your dream wishes." Awesome concept. Also, to me, a ripped off concept from a Twilight Zone episode. If I remember correctly, it was a genie episode to be correct, where everything went wrong. Every wish that this guy would make, he'd be like, "I want to be a leader of the world or whatever," and they turn him into Hitler. It's like one of these. It's like he could not win no matter what he did, and this is the same kind of concept. He's dealing with the devil. He signed his soul away, and he's supposed to get all his dreams coming true. And every time he makes a wish, he ends up becoming something that is totally messed up and almost kills him numerous times. But okay, so. Was this one of my favorite movies? No. I have this on DVD, and it was sitting there. And then it went out of print. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to sit down with the family, and I'm going to watch this movie. I'm going to see why the price has gone crazy. I'm going to see if this was even halfway decent. I've not seen it in years, so I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to go back there. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt that I was probably either tired or I had so many movies during the 90s or 2000. When did this thing come out? They're going to tell me over here on this. This is an Anchor Bay release, which I was also told that. Okay, PG-13, Anchor Bay, 93 minutes. Nope, no date. All right. Anchor Bay, I guess, went out of business. So most of the Anchor Bay Blu-rays are out of print, of course, because there's no more company. The company's not there anymore. If I'm wrong about this, please comment below. But I'm pretty sure Anchor Bay is out of business, and that's why their Blu-rays have skyrocketed on eBay and Mercari and all of those other websites and stuff. So anyway, yeah. So I figure I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna watch it. I put it in. I was like, wow, this was decent. This was a good. It was funny. It was decent. It had a good storyline. A memorable storyline. Like it totally reminded me of Twilight Zone. It was good, and I like Brendan Fraser. I've always liked Brendan Fraser. I don't know, something about the guy. I mean, there was a movie called School Ties he did. I absolutely loved it. Went to go see that in the theater. Of course, the Georgia Jungle movies. The Mummy movies. I think he's a good actor. I got no. Encino Man. I watched it for Pauly Shore, and I don't think he get enough screen time. But to me, this movie was good. So the big question: what did I pay for this movie? Now this was a tough one because, like I said, it's going for $100. That's what it's going for. Like if I was one of those flipping guys, one of those flipping guys that just buy things and flip them, then I'd be making some money off of this thing, because I paid $40 for this movie. Okay, it's at $100 right now. That's what it's going for on eBay. Check it out. Prove me wrong. I mean, it's between $80 and $100, and I got it for $40. The guy asked for best offer. I sent him the best offer. He said no. Okay, straight up no. And then I was like, I'll send this guy a message. I'll explain to him my situation. I'll explain to him that this is all I want to pay. I'll explain to him that I'm not a flipper, and I'm not trying to take advantage of him. I'm not trying to take his money and then go double his money. I mean, I'm not gambling with that's not what I'm doing. I am a collector. I am a movie lover, and I want this movie in my collection. And help me. That's pretty much what I said in the letter. Help me to increase my Blu-ray collection and make me happy. I am not trying to rip you off. Zero, and you'll be doing me a humongous favor, because I just can't afford to be spending $100 on a Blu-ray, especially since I don't absolutely love this movie. I'm not like this is not like a all-time favorite for me. This is just a upgrade from the DVD. And I got to tell you too that there's no special features on this. I did this not too long ago with some other movie that I wanted to make sure I got the Blu-ray, because I just absolutely loved the movie, and it also had no special features on it. I did a video about it. I'm gonna have to go back and figure out what it was. But when you're buying a movie like this, you're buying it strictly for the movie. You're buying it for the upgrade. You're buying it for the 1080p, in a better quality than the Blu-ray, than the DVD. But is it really a better quality than the DVD? That's the question. Is it really worth the upgrade, since this is a movie that is not like a Star Wars? It's not a special effects CGI movie. It's not something that is, which I was also told that as far as CGI movies go, the way that they're recorded, the best possible you can possibly get them in is the Blu-ray, because the 4K does something to them. I mean, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on this stuff, but they say that sometimes it gives it darker feelings. It does different things. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm starting to reach a thing in my life where Blu-ray is okay. I get a T-shirt that says Blu-ray okay. You know what I mean? Because DVDs are fine. You put them in and they get that nostalgic feel about them, because they're still not 100%. They got the little bit of grainy stuff. Every once in a while you get the little popping inside of the screen. Every once in a while you get a little stuff going on in there, and they're not 100% cleaned up, but they are more clean than the VHS. Yes, the VHS. Whoa, that was tough to get out there. But then when they go Blu-ray, they clean it up, and I got to be honest with you. They did a good job cleaning this up. This is very, very clean compared to the DVD copy. And I did put them in and almost tried to sell myself on whether or not this was worth the purchase. Like I'm going to put in the DVD and I'm going to be like, yes, that was worth the $40. It was worth it, because the picture quality is that much better. But would I watch the DVD? Yeah, I would. I absolutely would. I don't think that it needed a Blu-ray upgrade. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just being, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know what I'm doing. And I felt like I needed it. It was important. The Out of Print. The Out of Print. They don't make them anymore. Now the funny thing is that I'm assuming that probably in another 2 or 3 more years, they'll re-release them. And I'll feel really, really stupid. But for right now, I feel good. I feel good. Yeah, wow. I was... With that said, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. I will see you later.